I'm really close to the town right now. You can see the oil tanks and stuff behind me. And Steve was saying there's a graveyard up here, and sure enough, you can see some crosses there. Looks like a gravestone over here, right along the cliff. It's a pauper's graveyard where they bury the poor people. And that's what that is, look. Gravestone right here, look how close it is. That's gonna get washed out. Wouldn't be surprised if some already haven't. Nothing on it. And some, I can see some boards here, which are probably some type of markers, head markers at one point. See right there's the board. And that looks like another rock by where Steve's standing. Let's go look at these crosses over here. And what he's telling me is all these indentations here, here, there. You can see them all in a line. And that's where they buried the poor people. There's a bigger cemetery up closer to the town. That's even marked 1918. Let's look at it. Look at that. 1912, 1918. 1917. Sarah Irene. Wow. Yeah, that's an Eskimo name there.
Graves, sunken graves. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, I think those are graves. They're right in a line. Yeah, absolutely, there's no doubt. Look, it's just perfect size. 1, 2, 3. Look at that. This is an old graveyard, so it's about like 100 years old, right?
Yep.
Surprised they don't have it like marked off more.
They want to ignore it. I think they wanted to ignore it. They do that kind of stuff. They shouldn't ignore it, but it's not convenient for them. And see about the money and the construction stuff right here.
Oh.
So they just ignore it, whatever. No money involved.
I see. Yeah, it's really kind of sad. You would think that they would want to.
I suspect that this is all graveyard.
Yeah.
They have to wait and bury them in the spring or summer. They keep them frozen graves for the.
Oh, huh.
But here in town, they keep the bodies frozen until they can dig the hole in the when it warms up.
And definitely looks like there's rows of them. Many rows right here.
All graveyards, and just a very few of the ones that were Eskimos that had family kept them up. The markers.
There's a marker right there near the edge, so I imagine they're kind of going out to sea too, huh?
I think they built that stuff in top of them too.
Yeah.
I used to see more crosses scattered around.
Steve was just saying that.
Not many people know about this.
Yeah, the town doesn't really promote this, and they don't really want a lot of people to know about it, maybe, because of course they've done a lot of construction and maybe have done construction right over the graveyard or parts of it. I mean, they should at least have a little fence or something around it, some type of plaque, so people would know what it is. I mean, that's my opinion. It just seems to be a shame that it's just totally forgotten. I mean, it's right here in Nome too. It'd be so easy. It's so easy to do something with this. At least identify it for, for others. If you look in the background right there, you can see the city of Nome. And this is their graveyard, the main graveyard. So let's just take a quick walk through here, because it looks very different than almost any graveyard I've ever seen. There's some old graves here, 1918, kind of like the ones we saw down there on the beach. Same age, but I wonder why they buried those ones on the beach. I guess they were just too poor to buy a plot. You see they had a lot of these little fences around them for some reason. Maybe that's so the people don't walk on them, or maybe the musk ox don't knock the stones over. I'm not sure why. No, 1913, 2 hours old. There's something very different about this graveyard. Look, that's interesting. Richard Burnett, 1912. Never seen a marker like that. And of course, the problem they have here is, the ground freezes and thaws a lot, and it gets all bumpy and stuff. You can see there's a lot of little hills and valleys in here. It's kind of strange to see a little fence like that around them. Look at that. 1902. to 1907, I guess. I wonder if that could possibly, that can't possibly. I was thinking that might be the original wood, but there's no way because there's modern screws in it. See how there's lots of hills like that, hills and humps going up through there. This graveyard has its own charm for sure. It's very different than the normal graveyards I'm used to seeing, you know, at least back home. Kind of desolate feeling, really. Steve just called me over here to this grave here, says it's a famous name. What's a sepula?
I mean, I don't know which sepula this is, but I recall the name. It's got to do with the original run where they brought up the serum or whatever it is that has to do, that founded like the Iditarod.
Okay, yeah.
About the dog run, because the weather was bad, the airplanes couldn't fly back then, and so they had some sort of epidemic in town. I don't really know what, and but one of the sled dog guys, one of the famous ones was a sepula. I remember that much, and the dogs one of them was Fritz, and that's what the Iditarod is a redo of that.
It's kind of commemorating that heroic feat of, you know, of course, in the middle of winter, the harsh winters they have up here. I think the guy volunteered to bring the serum in by dog sled. So that's what this is about. Maybe we're not sure if this is the actual person, but it's the same name.
That's one of the sepulas.
Yeah. Look way off on the mountain there. You can see those 4 posts. Those are part of the early warning system that the United States had. Big radar antennas for, I guess, to see the Russian bombers coming over before they dropped the atomic bombs on us. It gave us a couple hours notice, not much, but that's what that's all about. And I remember, when those were active. Don't you, Steve?
Yeah, I do.
That was scary stuff, knowing that they had this early warning system here. Yeah, we were all scared to death. And, we're really close to Russia. We're about as close as we can get to Russia right here. And
the weather balloon up.
And the theory was that, of course, the bomb is coming over. We could pick them up here and relay the information to the lower 48, get fighters in the air, and hopefully shoot them down.
See the weather balloon?
That's a weather balloon?
Yeah.
It's really hard to see, but I'm going to try to I wanted to kind of take a look at this real quick. It looks much, 2014. You can see it's freshly dug, and it's actually sinking down somewhat, so they mounded it up. 2013. Yeah, so these are newer ones. Look how the water's laying down in that low area right there. Of course, you got to remember too that we're in the land of permafrost, and what permafrost is, it's ground that never thaws. So a few feet down, it could be just solid ice. I'm not sure about right here, but it could be 60 feet of ice underneath our feet, a few feet down.